Hello there. If you heard me making funny noises, it said that this did not get announced on Twitter. So, Danica, could you perhaps share with your Twitter followers, and that way people will know? Hi there, Steve. Let's see, Steve, and thank you, Adam, for inviting followers, and Mimi. And let me get this turned around here. Come on, turn around. There we go. Hi. Begin again, Jen. El Viejo. El Viejo sent me a picture of the Odie bars that we made last Friday. I'm sorry, let's see. And thank you, Danica, for inviting your followers. Did you do Twitter? Because this didn't go through to Twitter. And thank you, Miss JD Blue and Bobby Shantasu, Pat Moseboy. I'm looking to the right. Thank you, El Viejo. And and Miss JD Blue invited other followers. Oh my goodness, you're coming in quickly. Anyway, I set up a larger screen to my right. So thank you, Ems and Leah Wilson, Herbie Marin. And Herbie for sharing with your followers and on Twitter. Thank you so much. So anyway, I'll be looking over to my right whenever I really want to focus in to, if I can't read stuff, which I should do right now. Is that cannot? No. Sorry about that. Danica is good at everything, Harlow. Thank you, Jill Barb, Alpha Masweet, Chandy Mac, and Alpha Masweet for, is that how you pronounce that? Alpha Masweet. And Jennifer. So we're going to do I'm going to talk about some things that I do in the mornings for wellness. And thank you, Deborah. And thank you, Danica, sweetie, for sharing on Twitter. Thank you so much. Did I say Jimmy Mack? I don't know, but now I did. Hi there, Oklahoma. We have family in Oklahoma. Wisconsin. No, I do not speak French. Both of my daughters speak French. Their father speaks French. I do not. I attempted a few times, but let me see, I'm going to let go of my phone here. It's wobbling around. I need to get one of those fancy holders, huh? All right, a little bit sideways, but I think I'll just leave it at that. So, Emerald ×3, click on number of view. What? Oh, I see. Danica's letting someone know how to share. An Emerald ×3. I wonder if that's family. That was my troll. That was my block. That was my yes. That was my mother's family, Emerald. So anyway, all right. So to get started, oh my goodness, thank you, Yvette Mentor. I don't want to not thank anyone. Happy Carrick? I think that probably means happy Carrick. So, and hello, Brazil. A lot of Portuguese people in Brazil, and I must have relatives there, even though I don't know them. Sugar Drop 62. So, all right, I'm going to get started. I'm going to stop looking at you guys for a little bit. And so the first thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I do in the mornings, and it's something that just is good for wellness. It's good for our health, and it's cleaning my tongue. Now, it's not a real, a real like a sexy subject, but it really is really good for us because while we sleep, the plaque, it builds up in our mouth and on our tongue just as much, if not even more than in our teeth. So I have here what I use this little tongue cleaner. I've had it for years and years and years. I bought it at the Chopra Center in the 1990s when the Chopra Center was in La Jolla. Then there are other ones that aren't quite as fancy, that look like that. And I've seen them in drugstores here. Those usually have plastic handles. I've seen some like this that are made of copper. So, and you just put it in your mouth. As far back as you can go on your tongue comfortably. It's not a torture device. And you firmly and gently, being gentle is important. Just bring it forward, you rinse it off in water, and you do that 5 or 10 times before you brush your teeth, before you do anything in the morning. It's good for your breath. It is let me see, I've got some things here. So yes, digestive health. You can taste your food better because it keeps your taste buds clean. And being able to taste food, who's saying that? Harlow. No, gentle, Harlow. I said gentle, be very gentle. Yes, Danica has one too. I don't know if she uses it or not, but believe me, both she and her sister have them. What was I saying? Oh yes, digestive health. Because when our taste buds are clean, we taste the food more, and that causes more salivation, which in turn helps with our digestion. So something simple like this can make a huge difference in all parts of the way as stocking stuffers. They might have been. Yeah, they might have been, Harlow. It was a long time ago, so that I first gave them. So they very well could have been a good stocking stuffer. I'll have to remember in December. So, all right. So yeah, digestive health, tooth and gum health. Yeah, and it helps with your immune system because if you have toxins coming into your body, which imagine if you don't clean your tongue, and then even though if you brush your teeth, that's still on your tongue. And by the way, toothbrushes are not very effective in doing this. You really need something like this device, this what Harlow called a torture device. I think it was Harlow. Anyway. So then when you go and you're having your breakfast, what are you doing? Along with your food, you're swallowing all of this on your tongue and at the back of your tongue. So it's really, really good to do. All right. So that's one thing to do. Now, it invents smell if you don't scrub your tongue. Yes, Miss JD Blue, it does. Yeah. Well, because germs are there, they grow, So, now the second thing is she a clone of me? Who said that? Okay, TV's helping me. Yes, Dawn, no, she's not. No, I gave birth to her. So how to share on Twitter. You go down to where, I don't know if it's on this side or that side. I don't know which way. I think it's on that side, where it shows the number of followers, and you swipe to the side, and then if you scroll down a little bit, which you push up to do so, you'll see where you can share. It gives you the option to share. So, all right. So the second thing is along the same lines, and it's oil pulling. And both of these things, by the way, are Ayurvedic practices. They go back for thousands of years, and they are extremely, extremely helpful. I use sesame oil, and you can use coconut oil, which I also use. And you want to, or also sunflower oil. I've read where people use olive oil. You want to make sure it's organic, because the purpose of this is to bring toxins out of your body. And so why would you want to put some in, right? Mouthwash. I mean, I never use mouthwash. I think it's one of those things that. Hi, Tony. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. I think mouthwash is one of those things that it's built to kill, right? And it's it's not discerning. I'm talking about commercial mouthwash. So unless there's some sort of a medicinal need, I personally would stay away from it. So this cleans your mouth. The coconut oil or the sesame oil, again, using an organic one, food grade, of course, and you just take a spoonful. I use a spoon. And if you've never done it before, maybe just start with a teaspoon until you get used to the feel of the oil in your mouth. But you smell, you mean by using the oil you smell? Is that what you're saying, Harlow? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Anyway, back to this. A spoonful of oil. And if it's coconut oil and it's hard, it melts pretty quickly in your mouth. And then you smell it. Well, that coconut smells nice, I think, Arlo. Anyway, you swish around and you kind of like pull it between your teeth, and then you want to do that. I'm sorry. I keep getting distracted by all of your wonderful chatting here and inviting followers. So you swish it around at least 5 minutes and no more than 20 minutes, because around that 20-minute mark, toxins will start to redistribute back into your body. It's like the oil is full and it starts to redistribute back into your body. You don't want that. Also, while that oil is in your mouth, do not swallow it at all, because again, you're going to be swallowing the very toxins you want to get rid of. So after the 5 to 20 minutes, then you spit it out. It's recommended you just spit it into a paper towel, put it in the trash, because I guess the oil could clog up the plumbing over time. And then rinse your mouth with warm water, as warm as you can stand, to get that oil out. And then then you're done. So I do the tongue cleaning, and then I do the oil pulling, and then I brush my teeth. Some people, it doesn't really, some people will brush their teeth first and then do these other things. My particular preference order is the tongue cleaning, the oil pulling, and then the brushing our teeth. Let's see, remind everyone that this isn't, oh no, this is not medical advice. It's just something that I do because it's, traditionally this helps us. I mean, for me, I know after I started doing the oil pulling, which I didn't actually know about until, I guess maybe 2 years ago. And, I'd been doing it for about 2 months and not even remembering to do it every day. And I had my teeth cleaned, and they did the checkup, where they see how your gums are, if they measure. And it wasn't bad on me before, but it had improved so much. They were just so impressed. And at my dentist's office, and I was like, the only thing I changed was doing the oil pulling. So that made me a firm believer. And the gal who told me about it, she had been doing it for several months, and she started doing it because she was having skin issues. And she said at first it kind of made her skin worse because, toxins get stirred up and before they really leave. And she said, but ultimately it helped her clear up her skin. So again, this is not medical advice. It's just sharing some ancient wisdom. And pull every day. My intention is to do it every day, but there are some days that it's just not, it just doesn't work, into my schedule. So, I mean, the tongue cleaning, no problem. The oil pulling, because it goes for 20 minutes. I do it for almost 20 minutes. Oh, and that's something else. I have a little timer that I use. And I have it set for 17 minutes because once it goes off, then that gives me, 3 minutes to get around to getting it out of my mouth. you know, I'll do things like, you know, feed my cats, or you just do little things. And it's amazing how, you know, just puttering around, or, you know, getting, you know, boiling water for tea, all of that uses time. So I get that oil in as soon as I get up, and before I start doing things, I should, well, after the tongue cleaning. I don't want to be too confusing here. And the next thing I know, that beeper's going, and that's all done. So those are the two things I wanted to share with you today. Okay, if you have any questions, anyone? Hi, is it Carrie? Yes, Carrie. Do you believe in any of the teeth whitening products? I mean, I've about 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, I used some teeth cleaning, whitening products from my dentist. But I mean, I don't know. You know, toothpaste suggestions. I buy my toothpaste at the health food store. I personally do not like the idea of any kind of fluoride in my toothpaste. The brand, it varies. I just try different brands. Organic toothpaste, you know, I don't know. I've used Tom's. I don't know if that's what I have right now. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dream 300M. I've used Jason's too. I've used baking soda. Like, I saw recently a recipe for making your own tooth powder, and as soon as I have time to gather the ingredients, I want to give that a shot too. Yeah, Colgate, I haven't used anything like that for a long time, since before Danica was born. I pronounced Moreno. I saw that the other day because I grew up with someone whose name was Moreno, Dennis Moreno. We were all the way from grade school through high school. Still see him at the school reunions. So, and that's how he pronounced his name, spelled just that way. So that's how I spell it, Moreno. Do you acupressure breath tapping? I have not, you know, I'm aware of tapping. I have not done it. So no, I do not. I have not done it yet, I should probably say. Baking soda and coconut essential oil. Oh, oh, I missed that one. Whoever was talking, whoever did that, wrote that. I think that's the recipe I saw. You're welcome, Jen. Your girls have metal fillings. I hope not. I no longer do. I think, I'm sorry, Harlow just wrote about the tapping being a nervous tick. That's kind of funny. Oh, gee whiz. All right, so does anyone have any questions about this, or anything about meditation, the breathing technique that I taught a while back? You're welcome, Tony. Oh, Frankie Well. Okay. Yeah, Frankie Well. I think that looks very similar to the you have a question about asthma. Wow. I'm not a medical person. I mean, I actually, when I was born, I had asthma, and then had it come back when I was around 21. And that was actually what started me on learning about health in order to stop having the asthma attacks without using medication. By the way, I never introduced myself. My name is MahailaMcKellar. If you're not already following me, I hope you will. And I scope on Tuesdays about wellness and meditation and intentions and things like that. And on Fridays now, I am scoping about food and beverage, also with wellness in mind. So M Squad. I'll take that on, Harlow. Thank you, Deborah. You too. 142 nose mouth breathing for asthma. I don't know about the breathing techniques for asthma. I'm sorry. Have to go. Okay, Frankie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. All right, so I think we're done. And by the way, next time we do this, if you would like to actually meditate together, that sort of thing, please let me know. Send me tweets. Let me know what you think about that. Where can you buy a tongue cleaner? If you go online, I imagine you can find the kind that I have. This kind, and then, like I say, I've seen things like this in drugstores like Walgreens, CVS. They just have plastic over here, and I don't know what the metal is, though. I mean, if the metal was aluminum, I don't think I would use it. I do what I can to stay clear of aluminum. Yeah. So, on the asthma, I mean, I could tell you what I did. Now, my asthma was caused by airborne allergies. So I was allergic to house dust and various pollens, that kind of thing. And then, like I say, my family doctor from the time I was born, he gave me different medications, and none of them agreed with me. They did what they were supposed to, but they would either knock me out or get me nervous, or they just did not agree with me. And at the same time, someone suggested I read a book, a health book, by an author. Her name was Adele Davis. And at the time, she was the person. She had crossed over into the mainstream with her advice. And one of the things she said was to use was Dr. Marcus Welby. No. Anyway, she said to use vitamin C and just various things, whole grains instead of white flour. And little by little, I integrated her advice into my life. And it took about a year, and I stopped having asthma attacks. I did still have like hay fever, like crazy, certain times of the year. And then another year of eating that way, it all went away. And so that, I should write a book. Maybe I will. Anyway, that's my personal story. But again, my asthma was created by allergies. And so basically what I did, now looking back on it, was I used these different vitamin supplements and eating a more wholesome, healthy diet. Not that I had a bad diet before, but it was just a few changes I made, and it just helped boost my immune system. Crystal, the only time Crystal's on Periscope is if she happens to be with me and Danica. Crystal doesn't do social media. Oh, thank you. NKOT878. Let's see, maybe your name is Nancy. Anyway, all right, so I will now sign off, and thank you very much for joining me. And I send you my, I missed that. You Did Danica just put New Kids on the Block? Anyway, bye-bye, Harlow. And you're welcome, Steve. And thank you, everyone, so much. It's a pleasure for me. Alrighty. Namaste.